To begin, Avantasia is returning to Brazil for a single show in November, correct? And what fans can expect in terms of set list and especially performance?
Well, we have played in Brazil before this year, so at the festival, and of course this time fans can expect a longer set. They can expect some songs that we have not played at the festival in April. Some songs that we have not played in a long time. We're gonna have a great lineup of people, which I'm not gonna reveal too much about yet, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be Avantasia in its full bloom. And as I said, as we've been there before, I always consider festival shows as a sneak preview. A festival show is always just like a little an idea of what the whole thing is about. And now we're going to do the full thing. We're going to play the long show with all the songs. I don't know, 22 songs or something. Some songs off of the metal opera that we haven't played in a long time. Some new songs, of course. And I love playing festivals, but I prefer our own shows. It's our fans. It's the fans that really come to see the band. It's the fans that are familiar with the catalog, the familiar with the songs of the band and the history and the past of the band. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. I have no doubt it's going to be amazing because I know our Brazilian fans as well. So it's going to be good for all sides.
You have a strong connection with the Brazilian audience, by the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's been the first show I ever played outside of Germany, not Germany, but Europe, was São Paulo in 2002. It was 5 shows in South America. It was São Paulo, Curitiba, Florianopolis. Oh, now I'm gonna get flack. I don't remember the fourth one, and it was also Santiago de Chile. Anyway, it was 5 shows outside Europe. The first time I was a young musician, I was 24 years old, and I did not know what to expect. And we came to Brazil and to Chile, and the fans were so great and so loyal. And São Paulo was the first city that I've played without outside of Europe, and it's been a love affair ever since we came back. I played there with Andre for the Shaman show, and it's always been special. I've always had a special relationship, and we've always been welcomed with open arms. And this is something I will never forget. I'm like a dog. I remember those things that happened to me when I was a puppy, and especially the good ones.
Talking about puppies, I saw an interview a few months ago of you, and you were describing the techniques of vocal, like babies screaming. That was really cool.
I remember that interview. That was a real cool interview, also for myself. It was about singing and everything, and yeah, it was a real good. I highly recommend to watch that because it was even exciting for me to go deeper into singing and thinking about like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know many things about singing. I mean, of course, I've been doing it for 33 years. Basic instinct, I would say, but I've never thought about it too much. And it is like that. Babies scream without getting hoarse and without getting tired. They just do it, and they have the condition and the stamina. It drives you nuts as a parent. And so they have the technique, and so all we got to do is like look at the babies and say, how are they doing it? And then you sound like King Diamond.
They never
No,
stop.
I take it back. I take it back. Sorry, King.
You had a classical musical teacher as well, right?
I had an opera singer as a vocal teacher, and that was really a funny experience. I was a very young musician, and she taught me, and she told me how to stand and how to breathe. And then I said, okay, what I want to sound like is right. And she said, like, no, that's not the kind of singing that I would teach you. It sounds very, very bad for your voice. And so she was good to give me some basic ideas, but we had a completely different idea of what singing is like. She was like, and I wanted to sing Right the Sky and Painkiller. And so that was a bit weird. But she was good. And then I had another teacher. She was a rock singer, and she was giving me an idea of what happens with my larynx and with my vocal cords when I do this and when I do that and when I do. So you get a basic idea. But when you go on tour, when you're out there, you are jet lagged. You're in Brazil. You have a little bit of fever, a little bit of cold. You have sung 4 weeks in a row, so your voice is a little bit shot. You have jet lag and food poisoning, and you go on stage and you remember I should be standing here, but you want to jump over there and jump over there and do the Bruce Dickinson thing. So you have it in the back of your head what you should be doing, but usually then it's freestyle and chaos, and you just try to do it and enjoy it. And that's what I do. I don't think I'm technically the best singer. I don't even think I'm amongst the first 50%. So I'm just
Now,
I'm
come
just
on, don't
doing
be
it and I get
modest.
away with it.
Don't be modest.
No, okay, I'm the best. But no, seriously, I know my position. I mean, there are singers who have. I always also, I was never too happy with my voice. I have to say, in the beginning, I thought my voice was really. It never sounded like my favorite singers. My favorite singers were Bruce Dickinson, Michael Kiske, Ronnie James Dio, Ian Gillan. Those were the singers I wanted to sound like. But unfortunately, I was left sounding like myself, which was a problem at the time because I didn't sound like any of the people that I had on record. So now, 33 years later, I appreciate it because I think my voice sounds unique. Does it sound perfect? Nah, I don't think so. But I get away with it. It's good enough, I would say, to transport my feelings and to sing and to enjoy singing. And most of the people don't run away when I start singing, so that's a good sign. It's bearable.
We are the worst critics of our own our stuff, right?
Well, I always thought so until social media, appeared. And I found out I'm not the worst critic of myself. There's way worse assholes in the world.
Don't care about them. And how much do you think cinematic and artistic production of a show influences in the audience experience? I mean, instead of just a band playing.
I grew up with bands like Kiss and Queen, and also then Bon Jovi and Def Leppard doing the in the round in your face thing, and with a stage in the middle, and starting off with stage fright, and I said welcome to our show. It was all big, it was high gloss, it was pyro, and it was crazy, and it was big hair, big shoulders, and big poses. That's the music I grew up with. And I never really understood grunge music, where they were watching their shoes and playing like, here we are now, entertain us. No, no, you entertain us. You people on stage have to entertain people, not entertain us from, the audience doesn't have to entertain the band. So I grew up with a completely different approach. And I want theatrics. I want a show. I want a spectacle. It can be basic. AC/DC 1980 or 1979 with Bon Scott. I mean, but still, it was theatrical. It was a guy dressed up in a schoolboy's uniform, showing his bare ass, dancing around like crazy. And then you had Bon Scott, with his torn jeans, standing there like a rock god. It was still a show. And
Mhm.
I think that's what it has to be. It has to be a show, but I don't want the show to get in the way of the music. That's always a fine line because, when I see Freddie Mercury, he never gets in the way of the music. He was going on stage, he was being himself, he made the whole world watch him. And that's the way you have to approach it, because it's like going into a lion's cage as a frontman. You're stepping in front of 10,000 people, and you have the biggest spot. And you can only do it if you have confidence and if you present a show and you say, here I am, watch me. I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for myself. Let's have a great time and put on a show. What I don't really get, I have to say, is many bands these days are wearing masks, and everybody's having blood here, and it looks almost like a masquerade. It looks like carnival. I mean, it is everybody has to do it the way they want to do it. Kiss wore masks as well, but still it was an amplification of the music, their show. Today, when you open up a metal magazine, there are not so many anymore, but when you open up a metal magazine, it looks like watching a catalog for costumes for live action role play. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
one
agree.
one is a gladiator, one is a wolf, one is a this, that, this, that. everybody has to know themselves, but I don't want the show to distract from the music.
Yeah, it would be like mixing a song. Everything must be in the correct part. You don't
Exactly, and it has to be balanced. So I don't
yeah.
want to put on a show, and that's always something. That's my creed. Is always we want to put on a show. I want to be a showman. I go on stage, and I don't change. It's not a masquerade. When I wear my top hat and my coat, and I go on stage to enchant the people and be a frontman. This is just my head and my clothes are an extension of my personality. It's I don't know if a gladiator's helmet or a Viking helmet is an extension of your personality unless you're a bit off to Cuckoo Island. Um, it's to me it's just like an extension, and I always want to find the right balance. I want people to enjoy the music and have the visuals that accompany the music, but not distract from the music.
And how much are you involved in this planning and this production performance? Like 100%, or you have a great team to do it with you? How does it kind of works?
I have a great team, but the idea is basically like building a Lego castle. It's like I do it myself. I have the ideas. I'm watching things, and I think this could be it. This is too much for Avantasia. Let's put it this way. Let's focus on the LED content. Let's make it a fantastic world. Let's make it in these colors. I make a lot of decisions, and it's a lot of try and error. And then, of course, I have a great team that will say, Toby, this is not in the budget. Toby, we have to um do it a little bit different because you can't afford it, or because the stage is not big enough, or because it doesn't work. We're all gonna burn. So then you have to kind of scale things down, and sometimes you go to all different kinds of places. You can't present the same show in every venue. You can't present the same show in every territory. For example, the last show we tried to mimic the European show in São Paulo at the festival that we played, and it was okay. It was
Okay.
I would rather have gone for it different. I would rather have chosen something different. It was worth a try, but it looked like a scaled down version of the European show, and then I would rather have done something entirely different.
Mm.
So we're going to do something entirely different now for the next show, and I'm I'm very involved, but of course sometimes my plans are not. It's impossible sometimes to translate my plans 100% into reality.
So you're like the architect, and let the engineers
No,
decide.
no, I wouldn't compare myself to an architect. I would compare myself to a 7-year-old guy playing with little toy brickstones, and saying, "Oh, great, a castle, build it."
How cool is that? Looking back at your career, how do you balance the creativity words of Avantasia and Edguy?
Oh, that's a difficult question because apparently I haven't balanced it out very well recently. It got for a long time. It was really healthy. It was healthy balancing it out, but then I got very, very overworked and tired, I have to say, because there were many different aspects made it more and more difficult. It was like Edguy, we were 5 people going in different directions, so it got a little more difficult to keep the band on track, even as a band leader, even as the decision maker and the main or sole songwriter. It was getting difficult because you always have to keep 5 people happy, and when everybody goes in different directions, it's not very easy. Then of
Mhm.
course, Ed, we all became family fathers. The economic pressure within that group was rising, and we were arguing a lot, and still I was trying to deliver and deliver. So towards after 2008, 2010, 2011, it got really difficult, and in 2014 or 15, ultimately it kind of exploded a little bit, and I said, okay, if I continue on working like that, and with one band even having sand in the gears, which is not nobody's fault. I don't blame anybody. They're lovely guys. We are at peace with each other. So I want to go on record for saying this. But still it was difficult to do, and I was getting more and more overworked, I have to say. It was harder. I had to invest 100% of energy in each project, Avantasia and Edguy. Avantasia was getting bigger and bigger, and the 100% of energy in Avantasia went straight into motion, into success, into getting bigger. In Edguy, I also put 100%. I wrote the best songs I can. I argued and fought for having the best production and everything, but still, I felt like 80% of my energy just got mixed or messed up in disagreement and just discussing. And so at some point, it was impossible for me to continue on. I lost my hearing in 1 year. I had big stress symptoms. My health was going down the drain. And so at some point, we said, okay, let's put it on hiatus, which is the case now. It is what it is. Currently, my full focus is on Avantasia, and it feels healthy, and it also feels like everybody in Edguy has found their place outside the music business, some of them. And I think it's within us people as people. I think it's peaceful again, and that's the most important thing. No matter what the band. I mean, of course, one day I hope we will be able to finish it in style, and the way it deserves to be finished, or continue on or whatever. But currently, it's I don't balance it out. Currently, I'm doing Avantasia.
I see. So maybe that's why you mentioned, I think it was 2014 that Avantasia would come to an end, but in the following year you decided to release new projects. What made you change your mind?
It was too good to be finished. It felt too good. It felt like it was my main creative outlet. It felt like I was a child in a toy store. I could do anything. I was getting a big budget to do crazy things that I had dreamt about as a kid. And I felt like all the music that I have on my mind, I can turn into an Avantasia concept. I can also use it as my self-therapy, release of pressure. I can create music and release it with people like Michael Kiske and Alice Cooper and Klaus Meine and Ronnie Atkins, Bob Catley, you name it. I could just let out everything I had on my mind, and I think it was 2008 and 2011 when I said this is going to be it. And both times I really meant it. I said it on stage in Wacken. I said, okay, this is going to be it.
Yeah, correct.
And it was not planned at all to say it. And there was no promotional benefit of saying it. Some bands say, oh, this is it. This is the last tour. And then, and then they come back like 3 years later. For me, I was on stage. I didn't have anything to sell. I was just saying, no, this is it, because it doesn't get bigger than that. I was so caught up in the emotion and the greatness of the moment that I thought, it doesn't get better. You should better stop. But then when it's over, you think, I want to repeat that feeling. And it's like an addiction. And it is such a great release of ideas and creativity that I wouldn't want to miss it. I love it. Avantasia has grown. I mean, Avantasia and me, we are one thing. It's my creative outlet.
It runs through your veins as well. Sure, of course.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Sammet, thank you so much for your time. Hope you have a great time here in Brazil. And I'm really looking forward to see what you're showing us on this concert.
Thank you very much. I'm really looking forward to it. I love Brazil, and everybody knows that I mean it, because it's been a very, very long love affair. It's been 24 years now between Brazil and me, and including having known Andre, God rest his soul, before that. It's a love affair of 26 years, I would say. Almost 27 years. My love with Brazil is 27 years old. So I love you, and I hope I can show it enough. Thank you.
That's perfect, my friend. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Kiss FM. Não deixe o rock sair de você.